The silent power of self-discipline is explored, revealing how it can shape your life and unlock your true potential. This video delves into the transformative power of quiet determination and its profound impact on your journey to success. Let me tell you something that nobody wants to hear. Self-discipline is the ultimate power. You think life is about doing whatever you feel like. You think freedom is waking up at noon, scrolling on your phone, eating trash, and chasing dopamine like a rat in a maze. That's not freedom. That's slavery. Freedom is control. Freedom is having a mind like a blade. Sharp, precise, lethal. Freedom is waking up before the sun because you said you would, not because someone else told you to. That's what separates kings from peasants. The man who conquers himself owns the world, most of you. You're already slaves, slaves to your emotions, slaves to your comfort, slaves to TikTok, Instagram, Netflix, pathetic addictions you don't even notice. You can't even sit in a quiet room without reaching for your phone. You can't stick to one goal for more than 3 days without whining like a child. A disciplined man isn't like that. He's not a slave. He's a predator. He's a weapon. When he says he's going to do something, it gets done. It doesn't matter if he's tired, broke, lonely, bleeding. He does it because that's who he is, and that's why he wins. Discipline is painful. I won't lie to you. Waking up at 5 a.m. when you feel like sleeping, painful. Hitting the gym when your body aches, painful. Saying no to junk food when your stomach growls, painful. But so is regret. So is waking up at 40 broke, fat, weak, and realizing you wasted your entire youth. That pain, that's worse. Here's the truth. Every time you push through pain, every time you force yourself to work when you don't feel like it, you're building something stronger than muscles. You're building a machine. You're building an unbreakable mind. Your future self is watching you right now. He's begging you. Don't quit. Don't be weak. Don't betray me. Are you going to let him down again? Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is for cowards. Do you think I feel like training every day? You think I feel like handling business calls, fighting battles, making moves? Of course not. I don't rely on feelings. I rely on discipline. Nobody's coming to save you. Not your parents, not your friends, not some magical billionaire mentor. Nobody. This is your fight. And once you accept that, you stop being weak. You stop complaining. You become dangerous. The world doesn't care about excuses. The world bows to power, and power respects the disciplined man. While the sheep scroll their lives away, the lions are out there hunting, building, conquering. If you don't want to be trampled, you better become the kind of man the world fears. Discipline is how you get there. I'll say it again. Discipline is the ultimate superpower. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how rich your family is. Without discipline, you're nothing. You'll never achieve anything with it. You can become unstoppable. With it, you can take over cities, nations, empires. With it, you can walk into any room and command respect without saying a word. So stop being average. Stop living like a sheep. Decide today that you're going to master yourself, because the man who masters himself masters life. Now get up and make the world remember your name. Listen carefully. You think freedom is waking up whenever you feel like it. You think it's eating whatever you want, doing whatever comes into your little brain, and running after every desire like a dog chasing its tail. That's not freedom. That's weakness. That's slavery in disguise. You're a puppet, and your strings are being pulled by every single impulse, craving, and distraction around you. Real freedom doesn't feel good in the beginning. It feels brutal. Real freedom is about control. It's about telling your emotions to sit down and shut up. It's about grabbing your weak little mind by the throat and forcing it to obey you. When your body screams for rest, you tell it to work. When your brain says, scroll Instagram for 5 minutes, you reply, shut up. We've got work to do. That's what freedom is. Owning yourself so completely that nothing external can pull you off your path. Discipline is what separates kings from peasants. The kings don't live by feelings. They live by principles, by routines, by rules they create for themselves. They understand a man is only as powerful as the chains he breaks inside his own mind. You think the world respects the man who eats junk food every day, watches Netflix for hours, and spends his nights in pointless parties. No, the world laughs at him. He's weak. He's nothing. The man who says no to his impulses, that man is dangerous. The man who refuses the distraction, who says no to the comfort, who works while others sleep, that man is unstoppable. The man who conquers himself becomes a predator in a world full of sheep. He doesn't move like the rest. He doesn't think like the rest. He doesn't live like the rest. And because of that, he doesn't suffer like the rest. You want to win, then start saying no, no to the easy path. No to the pathetic excuses you've been feeding yourself. I'm tired. So what? Work anyway. I'm not in the mood. Good. That's when it matters the most. Anybody can work when they're motivated. Discipline is about working when you don't feel like it, when every bone in your body is begging you to quit, but you keep going because you've made a choice. Stop being a slave. Stop letting the world dictate how you feel, how you act, how you live. The battle isn't outside. It's in your own head. If you can conquer that battlefield, the world will bend to you. Most of you are already slaves, and the worst part is, you don't even know it. You wake up every morning and think you're free because nobody's chaining you to a wall, nobody's cracking a whip over your back. But the truth is you're more enslaved than the men who were in chains centuries ago. You're a slave to your laziness. You're a slave to your cravings. You're a slave to that glowing screen you scroll for hours, feeding you garbage while your life rots away in the background. You're a slave to your own emotions. You can't even sit still for 10 minutes without checking your notifications like some kind of addict twitching for a fix. You think you're in control. You're not. You've handed your life over to the algorithms, to your comfort zone, to the little voice in your head that says, relax, take it easy, you deserve it. That voice isn't your friend. That voice is the enemy. A disciplined man isn't like you. He's not a slave. He's a weapon. He's a predator moving through a world full of prey. He doesn't need motivation. He doesn't need inspiration. He doesn't even need someone to clap for him. He decides what happens and nothing. No craving, no distraction, no weak thought. Decides for him. That's the difference between the man who dominates and the man who obeys. You've been acting like a little boy for too long. Crying when things get hard, running to comfort every time life demands more of you, sitting around waiting for someone to come and tell you what to do. Let me make it clear. Nobody's coming. Nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to pick you up and carry you to greatness. If you want a different life, you have to take control of your own damn existence. And that means discipline. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you said it in is gone. Discipline is forcing yourself to rise when you'd rather sleep, to work when you'd rather rest, to endure when you'd rather quit. You think you're free, but as long as you're ruled by your feelings, you're nothing but a puppet. Cut the strings. Stop obeying weakness. Every time you give in to laziness, every time you indulge in your cravings, every time you avoid hard work, you tighten the chains around your own neck. The disciplined man doesn't live like that. He forges himself in fire. He breaks the chains and becomes unstoppable. He chooses to be the master, not the slave, and that's why he wins. Discipline is painful. Let's not sugarcoat it. Waking up at 5 a.m. when every bone in your body wants to stay in bed feels like hell. Dragging yourself to the gym when you're sore, tired, and pissed off feels like torture. Sitting at your desk, grinding through work while everyone else is out partying feels like you're missing out on life. But here's the cold, brutal truth. So is regret. Regret is a pain far worse than discipline. Discipline hurts now, but regret burns for a lifetime. Regret is waking up at 40, looking in the mirror at the fat, broke, weak version of yourself and realizing you threw away your potential. Regret is knowing you had time, you had chances, but you pissed them all away because you couldn't handle a little discomfort. Here's the difference. The pain of discipline builds you into a beast. It forges you into something unstoppable. The pain of regret, that keeps you weak. That keeps you broke. That chains you to a life you'll hate until your last breath. Every single time you force yourself to do the work when you don't feel like it, you're not just ticking off a task. You're building something bigger than muscles, bigger than a bank account, bigger than success. You're building an unstoppable machine. You're programming your mind to obey you, not your emotions, not your weakness, not your excuses. That's how you become a force of nature. Your future self is watching you right now. He's screaming at you from the other side of time. He's begging you, don't quit. Don't give in again. Don't sit on your ass and waste this moment like you've wasted so many before. I'm out here waiting for you to become me. Don't betray me too. Most of you will betray him. You'll pick comfort over greatness. You'll hit snooze. You'll skip the workout. You'll tell yourself tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. A real man understands this. He chooses pain today so he can dominate tomorrow. He doesn't run from suffering. He embraces it. Because he knows every rep, every sacrifice, every hour spent grinding is stacking bricks for the empire he's building. This is war. Every time you choose weakness, you lose a battle. Every time you choose discipline, you win. You're either climbing or you're sliding. There's no standing still. The question is, are you man enough to endure the pain now to build the power you crave tomorrow? Waiting for motivation, waiting for some miracle to come crashing into your life and fix everything for you. Wake up. Nobody cares about you. Nobody's coming to save you. Not your family, not your friends, not some random billionaire mentor who's going to scoop you out of your mess and hand you the life you dream about. You're alone in this fight, and that's not a curse. That's a blessing. Because the moment you realize it's all on you, the moment you accept nobody is going to save you, you stop being weak. You stop waiting. You stop crying about how unfair the world is. You stop begging for help that's never going to come. You finally see the truth. The only person who's going to drag you out of the pit you're in is you. You've been lied to your whole life. They told you it's okay. Someone will help you. Someone will understand. They told you to wait for the perfect time, wait for inspiration, wait for luck to strike. But let me ask you this. How long have you been waiting? A year, 5 years, your whole damn life, and where has it gotten you? Nowhere, because the world doesn't care. The world doesn't owe you motivation. It doesn't owe you success. It doesn't owe you anything. That's the cold truth most men can't handle. But the men who do handle it, the ones who look themselves in the mirror and say, I'm all I've got, those men become unstoppable. Discipline is the only answer. Discipline is what turns you into the savior you've been praying for. You want to be rescued, then rescue yourself. You want a hero, be your own damn hero. Because no one is going to put in the reps for you. No one's going to study for you. No one's going to build your business, sculpt your body, sharpen your mind. That's on you. Every time you choose to act, every time you grind when nobody's watching, you're proving to yourself you don't need anyone else. That's where the real power comes from. Not from luck, not from handouts, not from waiting for life to get easier. Power comes from embracing the pain, the solitude, the responsibility of becoming the man you were meant to be. Stop asking for a miracle. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you. Nobody's coming. And that's the best news you'll ever hear, because now you know it's all on you, and once you own that, nothing can stop you. Why do you think the world bows to the strong? Why do you think certain men walk into a room and every head turns? It's not luck. It's not some magical gift they were born with. It's discipline. Strength is rare in this world because discipline is rare. Most people are soft. Most people are weak. They can't even control themselves, and they expect life to hand them power, respect, and success. That's not how it works. While the sheep spend hours scrolling on their phones, feeding their brains with useless noise, the lions are out there building empires. They're training their bodies, sharpening their minds, stacking money, making moves in silence. The sheep are too busy watching, gossiping, envying. Meanwhile, the disciplined men are too busy winning. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care how tired you are, how sad you feel, or how hard your life is. The world tramples the weak and bows to the strong. That's the reality. And if you don't want to be trampled, if you don't want to be another faceless nobody crushed under the weight of stronger men, then you better become dangerous. You better become the man the world fears and respects. And that doesn't happen by accident. That starts with discipline. Discipline is the foundation of power. It's the daily grind. It's doing the work when no one's watching. It's building habits so strong they become your identity. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your discipline. Every time you say yes to comfort, you make yourself weaker. Every time you give in to distraction, you make yourself smaller. But every time you say no to weakness, when you get up early, when you train like a warrior, when you work like your life depends on it, you're stacking bricks for the empire you're going to rule. The truth is brutal, but it's also liberating. Nobody's going to give you respect. You have to take it. You have to earn it. You have to become the kind of man they can't ignore. A man of focus, a man of power, a man who doesn't flinch under pressure. That's the man who commands respect without even saying a word. The world doesn't bow to the average. The world bows to discipline. So decide what you're going to be, a sheep or a lion, weak or feared. Forget feelings, build discipline, and the world will have no choice but to respect you. Listen carefully. Money isn't the superpower. Cars aren't the superpower. Women, fame, parties. All of that is nothing without one thing, discipline. Discipline is what gets you those things, and more importantly, it's what keeps you on top when everyone else is falling apart. You see, most men chase results. They want the rewards, but they're too weak to build the foundation that creates and sustains success. That's why they fail. That's why they lose everything as quickly as they get it. Without discipline, you're like a man holding water in his bare hands. It slips through your fingers every single time. Discipline is rare because it's hard. It's ugly. It demands sacrifice, but it's also the only thing that makes you unstoppable. When the world gets soft, and trust me, the world is getting softer by the day, the disciplined man stays sharp. He stays dangerous. He doesn't let comfort creep in and rot him from the inside out. Discipline is what separates predators from prey. It's what allows you to control your emotions, your actions, your habits. The undisciplined man, he's a slave to his cravings. He's ruled by his urges, his phone, his desires. He thinks he's free because nobody's holding a gun to his head, but he's wrong. He's shackled by weakness. Develop discipline now or stay average forever. That's your choice, and don't lie to yourself. Average isn't neutral. Average means vulnerable. It means weak. It means you're just another face in the crowd, waiting to be dominated by a man who actually put in the work. The disciplined man doesn't care about motivation. He doesn't care about feeling like it. He operates on a higher level. He gets up early because he said he would. He trains when his body screams to quit. He works when the rest of the world is out partying. That's why he wins. Discipline doesn't just give you results. It gives you power. Power over yourself. Power over your circumstances. Power over other men. While they're getting soft, distracted, and emotional, you're becoming harder, sharper, colder, and that's why you dominate. It's not about genetics. It's not about luck. It's about discipline. Build it, and you'll get everything you ever wanted. Ignore it, and you'll spend your life watching other men live the life you dreamed of. So make the choice. Build the superpower, or stay weak, stay broke, stay forgotten. Your life depends on it.